So after a couple of rainy days, we found out that the plywood that was covering the propane locker is not marine grade, and it's also not protected. It only has a coat of paint, and obviously it peels off as soon as the plywood gets soaked. And this was the underneath. So as you can see, I think the plywood's still wet from all that rain. So what I did is I brought them home, cut new pieces, and the only thing I reused was the bottom part. And yeah, so now they're fiberglassed on both sides, and I'm sanding them down. Doing a really good job. They actually look pretty good. The underneath, we're not going to see it, so I don't really care for what it looks like, but it's still going to get painted at the end. I'm going to use the same paint as I'm painting the top deck with for underneath. And then on this side, since this is a high traffic area, I'm going to put some anti-skid or some kiwi grip or the equivalent. So here they are, all fiberglassed, epoxied, solid, and a lot stiffer than the old covers. Well,
is Kiki going? Oh.
So well, you can see one of the reasons why I haven't posted much this week is I was out and I was trying to sand the bottom of the boat. This is insane because you have the Interprotect, which is 3 coats, and then you have the first anti-fouling, which was white, and about 10 others, anywhere between green, light green, black, blue, really color of the rainbow was on this at the bottom of this boat, and nobody ever decided to take any of it off. So me taking some off, I actually brought the boat back to its original gel coat, and yes, this boat was canary yellow. We are not putting it canary yellow, not a chance. She's going black on the bottom and white on top. Actually, I'm gonna sand and paint all of this also. Capella's coming off, everything's coming off, and we're starting from scratch. So if you follow me a little bit over here, the keel needs a little bit of work, and I grinded this pretty good, and this is where we hit last year. Yes, I did hit. There's 2 kinds of sailors, the ones that lie about hitting and the one that say we hit. So and I hit hard 3 times.
3 times.
So here and at the bottom of the keel here, so we barely didn't pass, but we did pass. And yeah, so that needs
nearly a flesh wound.
Nearly a flesh wound. So that clearly needs to be filled in, and we have a couple of places where it's not so even that we'll use
your batteries die.
We'll use body filler. This is the new speed, depth, and water temperature transducer, and yeah, so I think we're doing a good job at the bottom. I obviously started with the hardest job to begin with. Some of you might tell me that I should have painted in case I splattered or whatever. You know what? I'd rather just clean up a few spots of bright side or whatever I'm going to use on the top part of the hull than having to wait for this and do this at the end, because this was really labor intensive and hell to do. I cleaned up all the back here, and the rudder still needs, actually the whole boat needs sanding, which I'm going to do with 40 grit sandpaper and a 4 or 6 inch just a little sander, and just even it out. So where I had to buff out a bit more, it's just going to come out nice and even, so when I apply my bottom coat, it'll be a lot nicer. Now we've decided to go with XXX bottom coat from Interlux, and I've seen a lot of good, I've seen a lot of bad. The one thing that I do not like to do is scrub, and XXX comes off so fast that I do not think that any creatures will be living at the bottom of our boat. Also,
I'll go diving.
yeah. Also, I will be putting it high enough. Actually, this green line that you see here will be disappearing, and this is where my anti-fouling line is going to be. And doing so, I'm hoping I'm going to be covering enough of the boat, which is going to be pretty much 6 to 8 inches above the water line, that whatever creature decides to catch on to the side of the boat, well, it's going to have one hell of a life, a short life, because it's going to come off pretty good. So that's it for the bottom of the boat, and hopefully by this time next week I'll have started sanding the top or painting the top, hopefully.
I did.
Well, when I said we were finished the inside, we're officially finished the inside. Other than bringing in the cushions that we are dry cleaning and waiting to dry at home, this is going to be our living quarters for the next 13, 14, 15 months. As Anne will pan out a bit there and show you everything. Yeah.
It's a little messy still.
Well,
She's still messy.
as you can see, there's some of the clutches that are on the railing, but that's going to be installed after we paint the deck.
Oh Lord. Hope I'm not doing this too quickly, because every time I see people do this, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to...
Nah, it's going to be fine.
Cha-la-la. Yeah.
So,
back to this ugly face.
Yes, yes. So yeah, every single wire has been changed. All the electronics been updated. Yeah, it's about time. It's been 5 months in the making. As soon as it's going to be a nice day outside, we're going to bring the cushions in, and technically we'll be able to move in if our house finally sells or eventually sells. And yeah, let's see what happens on that side. So this week I'm finishing off doing the inside. So we're cleaning all the cushions that go inside, and I wanted to make sure I didn't clean the cushions that went in the quarter berth that we kind of changed. So these are all the cushions, and spread out through the house to dry off, and hopefully be nice and smelling clean when we get them in.